Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is brought to you by CPG AI Trends and Insights, specifically for brand managers, product developers, and e-commerce managers, really anyone working in the pet food industry. We've gone through the latest Pet Food Insider. This is for the week of February 17th, 2025. And, well, our goal is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We give you the really important trends, the actionable stuff you need without, drowning you in data.
Yeah, cut right to the chase.
Exactly. So what are the big moves? What's shifting in pet food that we really need to get our heads around right now?
Well, it's definitely a dynamic time. Looking at the Insider report, what really jumps out, I think, is how our view of even basic ingredients is changing.
Okay.
And alongside that, pet parents just expect a lot more from the food they're buying. A lot more.
Right. Okay, let's maybe kick things off with something that maybe in the past was a bit overlooked. Fiber?
Yes.
Forget the whole it's just filler idea. It sounds like fiber's kind of moving into the premium space now.
Absolutely, yeah. The report really highlights this big shift in how dietary fiber is seen. It's definitely not just about adding bulk anymore.
Right.
There's, more and more science backing its role in gut health. And we all know how crucial the gut microbiome is becoming for, overall health. It affects immunity, digestion, even how nutrients get absorbed. And get this, 75% of U.S. pet parents now actually view fiber positively.
75%? That's huge.
It is. And 17% have specifically looked into prebiotics in the past year, actively researched them.
Wow, okay, that's a massive change in how people are thinking. Why do you think that shift's happened? Is it just us projecting our own health trends onto our pets?
Yeah.
The gut health focus.
That's probably a big part of it, yeah. We see it in human nutrition, right? And pet parents are, they're getting smarter, more informed. They want similar benefits for their animals.
Makes sense.
Plus, the actual research in animal nutrition keeps pointing to these links, too.
So for brands, then, just chucking any old fiber in there isn't really going to work anymore, is it?
No, exactly right. The actionable takeaway here from the Insider is really about being transparent. You need to show off the specific benefits of the fiber sources you're using.
Right.
So think about highlighting things like inulin, chicory, maybe tapioca, and really clearly explain how they help with healthy digestion.
So making fiber a front and center benefit in the marketing, not just buried in the ingredient list.
Precisely, yeah. And that's a real opportunity for product developers, to formulate with these specific fibers, and for the e-com teams to really push those benefits online.
Okay. Reframing the fiber story. Got it. Now, speaking of things offering maybe more than you'd expect, treats.
Treats, yes. My dog definitely thinks they're just for pure joy.
Huh. Mine too. But it seems like pet parents want that joy to come with a bit of a health boost now.
You absolutely nailed it. The report basically says the treat aisle is becoming kind of the new health aisle.
Yep.
Pet parents are looking more and more for treats that give specific health advantages, Beyond just being tasty, we're talking immunity support, digestion help, mobility.
Skin health even.
Skin health, exactly. It's almost like, here's a tasty bit of jerky. Oh, and by the way, it helps their coat shine.
Right.
And the report mentions brands like Nulo, W F Young. They're kind of leading the way here.
With what kind of products?
Things like functional jerky, dental chews, even plant-based snacks that have added benefits.
Okay.
And what's really interesting, I think, especially for product developers, is using things like upcycled ingredients.
Okay.
Prebiotics, which, basically feed the good gut bacteria, tying back to the fiber point.
Right.
And probiotics in these treat formulas. It means you can create these low-calorie, kind of guilt-free treats that actually do some good.
Functional treats. Upcycled ingredients. That's a nice mix of health and sustainability. Okay, let's pivot to another sustainability angle the report mentioned. Mycoprotein. Sounds advanced.
Yeah, this is where the innovation side gets really interesting. The Pet Food Insider highlights this stuff called Pekilo Pet Mycoprotein. It's from a Finnish company, Ennifer.
Okay.
And the environmental numbers are, pretty staggering. It's got 86% lower carbon emissions than soy.
86% lower than soy. Wow.
And 5 times fewer emissions than lamb. Its total carbon footprint is tiny, just 0.93 kilograms CO2 equivalent per kilogram.
Okay, those are serious numbers. That's the kind of thing that really grabs attention, especially for, eco-conscious shoppers, something e-commerce teams could really run with.
Definitely. It's not just a small improvement. It's a massive difference in environmental impact. And you asked if it's functional.
Yeah, did the report mention that too?
It did. That's the other powerful part. It's a dual benefit. sustainable choice, and it delivers high-quality protein.
Nice.
So the takeaway for brands, especially, the R&D folks, is to seriously look into using mycoprotein. It lets you tap into that growing green market while offering a really nutritious ingredient. Think about the marketing story there.
Yeah, huge potential. Okay, so that's a big sustainability win. Now, another area where sustainability often comes up is plant-based pet food. The report said it's pretty common now, right? But maybe growth is slowing. What's going on there?
That's right, yeah. Plant-based proteins are in, over half of U.S. pet foods, so they're definitely out there.
Okay.
But that initial, really fast growth, it seems to have cooled off a bit. And the insider suggests it's because consumers are getting a bit worried.
Worried about what?
Things like overprocessing, artificial ingredients maybe being added, and even just, will my dog or cat actually eat it? Palatability concerns.
Ah, okay.
What pet parents seem to really want now is natural. They're scanning for clean labels, ingredients they recognize, less processing.
So just ticking the plant-based box isn't enough anymore. It has to be the right kind of plant-based.
Exactly. That's the key takeaway here for anyone in the plant-based space. To really succeed, the food needs to be, affordable.
Sure.
It needs to have a genuinely clean ingredient list, and crucially, it has to taste good to the pets.
Right. The pet gets the final vote.
Always. So the focus needs to shift more towards simplicity, naturalness, and communicating the green benefits alongside that. It's not just about what you leave out, but the quality of what you put in. Really vital info for product dev and marketing teams.
Makes total sense. Trust, transparency. Seems like recurring themes. Now, the report also spotlighted a brand doing really well in this tricky market, Nulo.
Yes, Nulo.
What can we learn from them? How are they winning?
Well, they managed 2.1% year-over-year sales growth, which, in the current market is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's solid.
And the Pet Food Insider really credits their Big Fuel Incredible campaign. They featured 8 Olympic athletes.
Olympic athletes for pet food.
Yeah. It seems like that strategic storytelling really hit home. It linked the brand effectively with, wellness, peak performance aspirations.
Right. Connecting pet health to that elite human performance idea. I can see how that would resonate. For e-commerce, that shows the power of a strong brand story.
Absolutely. And which products drove that growth?
Good question. What did the report say?
Their cold-pressed meals were big growers, also their functional treats, which we just talked about, and their gently cooked foods. So it lines up perfectly with the trends we've seen, right? Less processing, treats with benefits.
Yeah, it all connects.
So the insight for other brands is really twofold. One, powerful storytelling that connects to consumer values like wellness and performance. And two, keep innovating in those high-demand functional categories. It's kind of a blueprint for brand managers trying to cut through the noise.
Okay, great stuff. So let's try and pull this all together. We've covered a fair bit. What are the absolute key actionable insights from the Pet Food Insider that our listeners, brand managers, product developers, e-com folks should really take away?
Okay, yeah, the report boils it down nicely. 5 main things. First, make fiber front and center. Talk about whole pet wellness. Be clear about your sources.
Got it. Fiber first.
Second, treats are the new supplements. Develop those functional snacks, specific benefits. Think about small portion sizes, too.
Functional treats. Okay.
Third, push plant-based with purpose. If you're doing plant-based, focus on clean, natural, low-carbon messaging, not just meat-free.
Purposeful plant-based. Number 3.
Fourth, bet on mycoprotein innovation. Seriously consider next-gen sustainable proteins like Pecalopet. Explore it.
Mycoprotein potential.
And fifth, elevate your brand through performance narratives, like Nulo did. Connect your brand to active lifestyles, performance nutrition.
Performance stories. Okay, great summary. Fantastic. This has been really insightful. A proper deep dive into what's shaping pet food right now. Brought to you by CPG AI Trends and Insights for everyone working in this space. We've looked at how we see ingredients like fiber evolving, the rise of functional treats, those cool sustainable options like mycoprotein, what really makes plant-based work, and, the power of smart branding like Nulo's. Hopefully this gives you a solid roadmap for navigating things.
Absolutely. I mean, these insights from the Pet Food Insider, they really underline how brands need to be, innovative, but also really listen to what pet parents want and value today.
Totally agree. So here's maybe a final thought to leave you with. We see human wellness trends bleeding into pet care all the time.
Right, all the time.
So what other innovations from the human food world might be next? What could be adapted for pets? And maybe more importantly, how can brands get ahead of the curve and be ready for those future shifts?
Ooh, good question.
Something to chew on until our next deep dive.